What's up? 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 How are y'all doing today? I think everybody already knows what we are doing here tonight. In case you have not heard the news, Marvel has doubled down on their position to not recast T'Challa. So of course, I mean, come on now, you see the shirt. There was no way I was not gonna respond to this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Folks, this has definitely been a very interesting couple of days, especially with what's been going on. Um, and I have to be honest with you, this is not surprising whatsoever. I hope that for the many of you that have been following me, that have been following the Recast T'Challa campaign, the whole movement, I hope that many of you have like noticed that I've said from the very, very beginning that this was a long-term thing. I told y'all from the jump that it's gonna pop off in the beginning, it's gonna die down. As news comes out, it's gonna come up a little bit, and then it's gonna die down. I'm telling, and right now, Marvel came out, Nate Moore came out and made some comments, and what happened? It's popping back up again. And I'm gonna tell you this again: it's gonna go back down. And guess what? When the trailer comes out, it's going to be another issue again. So I'm trying to tell you guys now just to kind of prep you for how this is going to go. But we're going to go through what my man Nate Moore said. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to break down parts of what he said because there were some positives. We do have some positives, and I'm gonna also talk about the problematic stuff that he talked about. So it's not going to be all negative, but we got to address some things. All right, let me go real quick, because I gotta shout some of y'all out for being here, and I appreciate y'all all day. And yeah, by the way, you gotta follow me, okay? Y'all don't know when I'm gonna go live. Like anything can happen. This is why you gotta follow, hit them notifications, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I'm out here. I'm letting y'all know when I'm going. So let's go real quick. CM Pork Chop, what's going on? Thank you for showing up. Shauna, what's going on? Hello, hello. Nia, how are you? Antoine, what's going on? Marcus is in the building. Lord Lyons he's here. What's going on? My man Eric Shaw is in the building, of course. Davion, what's going on? Let's see. Marvin's here. Let's see. We got Portia in the building. Good to see you. Mike from the Bronx. I'm just going to assume you from the Bronx. My man Chief, what's going on, brother? Good to see you as well. Lonnie's here. Wilbur's here. My man Angel's in the building. Oh, yes, yes, yes. What's going on, Batsy? How are you? Donnell, Rizzo, what is going on? Oh, come on, my main man, Ron Frazier. Let's go, brother. Thank you so much for the early support. Lisa's in the building. Let's see, my man Tane. Come on now, Kev's in the building. Come on, we got the vets. Come on, Rhonda's here. Come on, DJ. What up? What up? What up? Let's see. My man Nelson's here. We got the vets. SJ, let's go, let's go. Ben is here. What's going on? Let's see. Did I miss some? I know I missed some people. I gotta hurry up though. Yes, Breeze, you got it. You in here. Let's go. Dex, let's go. What if showed me the power and importance of our king T'Challa? The culture deserves his story to be fulfilled. Bruh pimped out Thanos. Come on, recast, replay. Yes, and yes. That is just one element. My voice already getting out there. Come on. It's only one element as to why this whole thing is recast T'Challa. It's not recast Black Panther because the mantle, as I've said so many times, the mantle is secondary. The mantle is not the most important thing in the Black Panther comic lore. If you go look at the source material, it's about T'Challa 98% of the time. It's T'Challa's story. Even when they talk about all the other Black Panthers, it's usually a way to inform you about how it affects T'Challa. We learn about a lot of the old Panthers because T'Challa has to communicate with them. He learns from them. You didn't see a whole bunch of single comics of all the other Panthers like that. They might have had a little story here and there, but it was always about T'Challa. Shuri got her own little spin, but that didn't even last that long. So let's not get it twisted here. This is about T'Challa and why he's so significant. But let me thank you for that, Dex. I appreciate you. Let me grab these. My man Buzz, what's going on, brother? Thank you so much for that early contribution, brother. My man Chief, let's go. Recast T'Challa can't climb a mountain if it's smooth. We gonna get T'Challa back one way or another. It's Wakanda forever. Long game. Let the live begin. You already know what it is, brother. Thank you so much, my man Lawrence. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, sir. Let me see. Let me grab these. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. Because I got some good news and some bad news. We're gonna go through it. I also want to try not to make this too long because I know some people want to go watch the Spider-Man trailer. I do not advise doing that because I think I don't trust Sony right now with what they want to spoil and stuff. But anyway, in case you have not heard what VP Nate Moore of Marvel Studios has said, here is his appearance on Van Lathan's podcast show. I think it was on The Ringer or maybe his individual show. But here's what he had to say. I'm going to play it in full, and then I'm going to break it down in clips. And, of course, I'm going to have some receipts. Here we go.
What are the chances we see the character of T'Challa in the MCU moving forward? And what is it like having to balance loyalty to a fan base and to a performer as regal and elegant as Chadwick Boseman, along with the future of that franchise, that character, and of Wakanda?
Yeah. It's a great question. I will say the chances that you see T'Challa in our... I'm not hedging my bets. I'm being quite honest. T'Challa is... You will not see T'Challa in the MCU 616 universe. We couldn't do it. I mean, I will say when Chad passed, it was a real conversation we had with Coogler about what do we do, and it was a fast conversation. It wasn't weeks; it was minutes of we have to figure out how to move this franchise on without that character, because I think we all feel so much of T'Challa in the MCU on the screen, not in comics, right? Is tied to Chadwick's performance. Is what he brought to that role, both on and off screen, I would argue. So as hard as it is narratively to figure out what to do, because it's a big hole, at no point did we consider recasting him. So the challenge for Black Panther Wakanda Forever is telling a story without T'Challa. And I think it's a challenge we're up for, and obviously we're in the middle of it and we're figuring it out, and it's so far I think what we're getting is great. But the challenge of the movie, I think, is to entertain people, but there will be a level of, I think, catharsis in people coming back to this universe without that guy, because that guy and that universe to me are one and the same. So as filmmakers and storytellers, you have to figure out how people are going to feel going into your movie and what you want that movie to say about that guy who's not going to be in your movie.
Wow.
Well, I can't even begin to tell you how disappointing almost every single thing he had to say in that little commentary came off to be. I mean, it sounds as though Marvel is digging this hole deeper and deeper and deeper. And the problem that I have is the fact that it doesn't even sound like they took the time to really consider the long-term effects. This is why I look, y'all. It's no secret that I love Marvel. It's no secret that I love superhero movies. Okay, so let's not go with any bias here. It's no secret that, you know, I care about these franchises. I give props to these companies and to these studios and to these executives when they do right by us. I give them props, and I still hold them accountable when I feel like they're going in the wrong direction. And this right here is absolutely the wrong direction. Y'all didn't take them. Hold on. You know what? let's break it down. Let's break it down first, because I don't want to go into a full rant. I want to be very specific with what I'm going to say. The very first thing that he said that I would say was somewhat positive. Let's be positive. Let's be positive. Let's hear what he had to say. This part.
T'Challa in our, I'm not hedging my bets. I'm being quite honest. T'Challa is, you will not see T'Challa in the MCU 616 universe.
Okay. Okay, I wanted this to be positive, but it's really not. Now, for many of you out there, comic fans, y'all know that the 616, usually, at least in the comic form, that's like the main reality, okay? Now, I know some people got a little confused about that. Let me help you. In the MCU is also considered as the 616, okay? So, like, they clearly didn't think that out very well, but the MCU is the 616 universe. The mere mention of the fact that they want to, the mere fact that he mentioned the 616, just that mention, gives the hope that we will get a variant version of T'Challa. Okay? That's the mere twinkling. Like, if this was a door, if Recast T'Challa was a wide, big old door, they cracked that sliver right there. The you know, they still got the chain on the door. It's just cracked. Like, we could see, you know, just a little something. As much as I want to give them credit for that, because I've told y'all before, you can do a variant version of T'Challa. It's probably the easiest way to explain for more of the emotional fans that visually can't see or envision someone else besides Chadwick, which is a whole nother issue, and we'll get to that. You could do a variant, but the problem that I have, because I want y'all to understand, I started Recast T'Challa for two reasons, well, multiple reasons, but two of those reasons was, one, to keep the story going for T'Challa. You could kind of do that with a variant, kind of. But the second principle was not to kill off the character for a third time. It's unnecessary to do that. Because for me, I'm like, why are you taking real life tragedies and putting it into your actual fictional content? You don't have to do that. Spoiler alert, you just had Doctor Strange change up all of reality. You could just do that. You just had in Loki, He Who Remains and Sylvie and all them jack up the timeline. Loki went to a whole nother history, a whole nother timeline, and everything was changed. You just had Ultron punching through realities, altering the multiverse. What I want you to understand is that this is fiction. And when you have fiction, that means that you have other avenues to tell your stories. Marvel has a plethora of stories that they can tell. They have a plethora of avenues that they can take. They don't have to kill T'Challa. The mere fact that this man said that we will not see T'Challa, he didn't say in Black Panther 2, which some of y'all assumed, and I told y'all from the jump, when they said they were not recasting, that was an indication that they were going to kill the character off. Some of y'all was like, no, but they meant like, you know, we just won't see it. They won't recast now. Maybe they'll recast tomorrow. No, listen to the language. Read between the lines. When you will not see someone in a universe, that's because they gonna kill him off. I don't understand what this. I don't get the comfortability with Black Death. I don't get that. I don't know why. With all the stuff going on in the world, that you will have to put that in there. Yes, it was a tragedy. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying this is police brutality. I'm not saying none of that stuff. But I'm saying when you don't have to do it, why are you forcing it? Why are you so compelled to do that? Let me get these comments because I see y'all heated right now. I don't want to lose these. K-Pack, thank you. Dumb decision, death of MCU. I've lost faith in MCU. Bro, I understand. Daniel, thank you for your previous comment. I didn't see it, but I got you, bro. Thank you. Hate to bother, but remember that documented montage recast T'Challa I said on Twitter. Maybe. Yes. That's, I mean, all that stuff is in the works. Let's see. What's going on, Warrior? Chadwick would be disappointed. I think so. And that's, we'll get into that. But I think so. Very much so. Samantha, thank you so much. How Nakia going to be T'Challa's baby mama? Nakia in the comic book Black Panther, one of his biggest female villain Malice. We know that they don't read comics. 9 times out of 10, they'll probably do something like they went off, eloped or something. I don't know, had some baby out of sight, out of mind, or something stupid. Whatever. I told y'all, when you have all the multiverse to work with, the multiverse, the whole thing with that, it's a gimmicky tool for writers. It's a gimmicky tool to like undo, change up, mix up, whatever you want. It literally frees you up from any narrative obligations that were there before. Something go wrong, y'all miscast somebody, multiverse, now they look different. Now we could change their story. We jacked up this person's storyline before, multiverse, we can fix it now. So again, any type of extra nonsense that they talking about is stuff that could be easily rewritten or fixed or whatever, because you already have that stuff set up in the MCU. All right, let me get some more. Thank you. Let's see. Master Loki, MCU has co-opted T'Challa's entire franchise. They was calling books Black Panther during David Liss's run, even when he was neither king or BP. Facts. This was always T'Challa's story, recast expeditiously. These are facts. These are facts. This is why I try to tell people, y'all don't understand what you're losing when you think that we could just do away with T'Challa. You have no idea what that means. Let me give you a quick, just brief thing. T'Challa is the Jackie Robinson of Black leading characters. 2 white guys, 2 Jewish guys, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby. They sat here and was like, oh man, we have Black readers, comic readers, but they don't have a Black leading character. Let's make one. That's why T'Challa was made. T'Challa is important because he was literally the embodiment of Black representation. He was the Jackie Robinson breaking that color barrier, standing on equal footing with the Fantastic Four, Superman, Batman, and all of them. That's why he was made. He was not made to be disposable. He was made to be a stepping stone for other characters to flow through him. And what I mean by that is, when you started looking at the writing of the Black Panther franchise, when the white writers were writing them, it was cool. Hey, we got a Black leading character in mainstream comics. That's awesome. Then the transition happened. They changed over to Black writers. When Black writers, Christopher Priest, Reginald Hunlin, started stepping in and writing these characters, that is how Black representation elevated through T'Challa. This is why we got the Dora Milaje. This is why we got Black Love with T'Challa and Storm. This is why we have Shuri. This is why we have Shuri, because of T'Challa. And guess what? But even when Shuri is having her rise, T'Challa knows when to step back. And when I tell you that imagery is so important of seeing a Black powerful man take a step aside and recognize a strong Black woman, what more Black kind of representation do you want? That is it. That's it. I told y'all from the jump, there's no stronger imagery of a strong Black man supporting a strong Black woman and vice versa. When have we seen that on TV? When have we seen that on the big screen? That's what the whole purpose of the Black Panther franchise is about. When you take T'Challa out of the picture, you co-opt everything that's already been built into the franchise. So when Nate Moore is sitting there talking about it's a challenge, you're damn right it's a challenge. Hey, go make a successful Batman franchise without Batman and without the years of built-up legacy. The only reason Batman can work with Doom Patrol or Titans and all that stuff is because Batman's had like decades of stories to be told. It's okay to branch off because we always know Batman ain't going nowhere. That's why those things are okay. He had the opportunity to build up his legacy. Right now, Marvel is cutting the legs off before Black Panther even learned how to walk. Sorry, let me get this. And it's Anson, what's going on? Let's just cut to the chase. T'Challa is one of the most inspiring characters for little black boys and black men ever created. That is why they won't bring him back. I'm not going to put that on them, but I will say that the effect is real. I will say that there is an effect which bothers me that they think it's so easy to just replace that. I don't recall people going out getting, all the little boys. At least when I was seeing little kids in theaters, they weren't running around with M'Baku, toys. They wasn't running around with I don't know, just other little supporting characters and stuff. They were running around with T'Challa. They had T'Challa. They dressed up as T'Challa. They wanted to be the king of Wakanda. Like, that's the purpose of main characters. Main characters are supposed to be your anchor into the narrative so that even if you branch off and even if you elevate other characters, that anchor, that main character is still always there. That's the purpose. Okay. Thank you so much. Marsha Reese, thank you. Nah, man, this is really disrespectful. I'm done. You won't see me in the 616 without T'Challa. In my universe, T'Challa is alive. Ma'am, I'm with you 100%. I totally get it. I totally understand where you're coming from. I really, really do. And we're gonna get to the respect factor in a minute. We're gonna get to that because I'm glad that you brought that up, because a lot of people are going out here talking about how disrespectful it is to recast. And I have yet to really hear a convincing argument as to how that is. I don't understand how it is disrespectful to recast when it hasn't been disrespectful before. Nobody complained when Dumbledore and Harry Potter got recast. Nobody complained when Spartacus got recast after these actors passed away. Recasting is not disrespectful unless it goes specifically against the wishes of the person or the family, which, by the way, I don't recall hearing nothing from. Y'all heard from the family? I didn't hear them say don't recast or no. I didn't hear that. Let me get to these. Y'all coming through. We got some more to play though. Master, let's go. But he said we won't see T'Challa in the MCU 616, meaning we will never have a centered story on T'Challa in the MCU ever again. It'd only be some lame multiverse cameo, which is BS. That's not enough. Yeah, I get the feeling that what they want to do is maybe throw in the Star-Lord T'Challa or something. And don't get me wrong, give me all the T'Challas you can give me, but I'm still sitting here like, you could still just grab a T'Challa from another universe that has, I would say, all of his history, but maybe slightly different. I guess I'm gonna have to make a video because I don't think people believe things until they see it. And I think that some people really don't understand how easy. I could give you 6 different easy ways to explain why he looks different, how a variant can work. It's not hard. It's not. And you can do all these things and still celebrate Chadwick, the human being, at the same time. Marvel's out here acting like this is so difficult. It's not. They are making their own hole, and they refuse to take the ladder that's right there to climb up out of there. Howard, thank you so much. So enter Nate Moore. They answered all the hate by bringing out someone who looks like a. Well, to be fair, Nate Moore is, and I'm gonna give him credit. We wouldn't have Black Panther in the MCU if it was not for Nate Moore. And this is also where I get a lot of the disappointment from, because for me, I'm like, bro, you're the reason why Black Panther got thrown into Civil War. Thank you. You're the reason why Black Panther got the solo movie. Thank you. But you're also the reason why we getting rid of T'Challa? What the hell? It's mind-boggling. Black Panther is your baby. That's your creation. That's your push, because Kevin Feige would usually be like, hey, whatever executive producers want to take on a certain character, whatever, or story, that's your thing. That's your thing. That's your thing. This was Nate Moore's thing. And it's just like, you have options. You have options. BP and Storm Love and X-Men Revival. I don't know who, when, where, how. I don't like, make it make sense. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Dre Light, thank you for speaking up on for us, man. Don't take your foot off their necks. We don't want no variant either. You know, listen, I'll say this. I don't mind a variant only because a variant is better than no T'Challa at all. In a perfect world, you're not killing T'Challa because you don't have to. His story's barely been told. Like, you don't know what he is. You don't know what he's like as a king. You don't know how he is as a ruler. You don't know how he is as a warrior, a politician, a diplomat. You don't know none about that because we ain't seen it yet. So for me, I don't mind a variant. What I do mind is unnecessarily having to go kill this black man for the third time and then talk about you want to honor him. Stop it. Stop it. Let's see. Sony almost recast Toby with Jake. Yeah, I mean, we know this. Like, white fictional characters get recast all the time. All the time. This is why I say I don't care if it's the same universe. I don't care if it's different universes. The effect is still the same. What is that effect? Their legacies keep getting built up. Their memories keep getting... We don't forget about Roger Moore and Sean Connery and Christopher Reeve and Adam West. We don't forget them because their characters keep getting recast. That's the point. All this nonsense about recasting is gonna tarnish his memory. Stop it. No, it won't. It literally will make him the first. Let him maybe even be the best. And then guess what? We get to see more. We get to see different versions. And then you know what that means? We get to pick and choose. Like, man, I really did like Chadwick's. Oh, but I loved Aldous Hodges' version. Or, man, Damson Idris, he came through with his version too. Like, we get to pick and choose what we like the same way we do with James Bond's characters. Marvel not recasting T'Challa is a huge mistake. Thank you, Ant-Man. Appreciate you. Loved your movies. Mike, what's good, E? Sorry I missed you Friday, but that was Cat. Man, I missed that cat show. Man. But I'm starting to think it's a little more nefarious than we think. They trying too hard to kill him off for no reason. Bro, it's tough. It's tough. I'm still going to play nice. I'm not going to go down the route and assigning intent. I'm going to still say that they believe that they're doing the best thing that they know. I think that they believe that they are doing the right thing. I am just pointing out the issues in what they're doing. Let me play one other clip here so we can break this down. So my bad if I miss anybody. I really don't mean to, but I want to make sure that we really get to the crux of this. Let me play this for y'all real quick.
We couldn't do it. I mean, I will say when Chad passed, it was a real conversation we had with Coogler about what do we do, and it was a fast conversation. It wasn't weeks; it was minutes of we have to figure out how to move this franchise on without that character, because I think we all feel so much of T'Challa in the MCU on the screen, not in comics, right? Is tied to Chadwick's performance. Is what he brought to that role, both on and off screen, I would argue. So as hard as it is narratively to figure out what to do, because it's a big hole, at no point did we consider recasting him.
This is probably one of the most egregious things that I heard from the whole conversation. The moment you learn Chadwick passed, it was a fast conversation. Y'all didn't even consider recasting. All that says to me is that you did not take the time to consider the long-term effects of what that decision would mean. That's all that says to me. Because you cannot, let's be very clear about this. Black Panther is not a normal movie. We're not talking about just some old Star Wars movie or some little old Western movie or whatever. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a movie that had significant cultural impact. Even for the people out there that'll be like, Black Panther wasn't all that good. That's fine, but you can't deny the cultural impact that it had. Black Panther was a movement. Black Panther was a vibe. Black Panther was a mood. It was a thing. That was a piece of art that moved people. That's what you want art to do. So you cannot sit here and have something with all these rich intangibles in a movie and make decisions in minutes. What are you talking about? You didn't think about what it would be like to not have the main character in his own franchise? It took 50 years, 5 decades. It took 50 years to get Black Panther, T'Challa, the very first main leading character, Black character in comics, to be the very first main leading MCU Black character. It took 50 years, and you ready to give up now? Minutes. Fast. Didn't even consider recasting. This is also why I say I understand how they're human. Nate is human. Ryan Coogler, they're human. This is also why I don't give people blind trust. This is why I don't just be like, let me sit back and wait and watch. Let me just wait and see. Then I'll judge from there. I don't do that because I hear what you're saying. I can read between the lines. I see what you're doing. I see what you're saying. And I don't agree with it. It has way more deeper implications than you are just casually brushing off in the effort to try and honor Chadwick. Let me get this comment. My girl Jackie, what's going on? The simple fact that they are responding shows the power of this petition. They are betting that we'll back down and give up, but their resistance just fuels the fight. They only care about the money, not the Black love. Let me tell you something. Recast T'Challa ain't stopping, and definitely we're gonna get an update. I got some exciting news for that. We gonna touch on that. Trust and believe. DJ, no titular white hero, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman are getting treated like this. They never would. Let me tell you, it would be blasphemous. I don't care if you Kevin Feige, if you was working in DC and said, let's kill off Batman, let's kill off Superman, you'd get fired. That treatment would never happen with any white fictional popular characters. And it saddens me when I hear even other Black brothers and sisters out there that are so comfortable with getting rid of the character, mainly because I would argue of their own ignorance of the property or the impact that the property has on others. I'm not even going to get into the Twitter beef. It's not even no beef. I ain't going to get into that. No, I ain't going to get into that. My man Kev, we have 10 different Barry Allens, Bruce Waynes, Clark Kents, multiple platforms right now. This is exactly what I've been trying to say. Why can't we have the same Hollywood math when it comes to Black fictional characters? White actor dies. That character gets recast. It doesn't matter if it's in the same medium or not. That character will keep going. You mean to tell me if, God forbid, Tom Holland accidentally passes away, you mean to tell me we ain't gonna get no Spider-Man? Really? I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and answer that question honestly. For real? Come on now. Storm Shadow. When it comes to certain groups, sadly, it seems they could care less, which is not surprising. To the larger effects mirrors the container, which is America, that these ideals and actions take place in. Well. Eagles boycotting BP2 for real. I don't blame you, brother. I don't blame you. I understand. I can't. It's hard for me to sit here and sell this movie with all the stuff, and I'm trying to be optimistic. Never mind the passion that I have right now and the criticism I'm levying. I'm still trying to be positive about this movie. It's the reason why I'm so passionate about this, because I want it to succeed. Let's see, Daniel. Let's see. The role of Batman and Spider-Man is bigger than the actors. Why can't T'Challa? And you speak in my mind, bro. I mean, Chadwick thought the same thing. Black Widow from the Ultron verse was sent to the different universe by the Watcher. They could do the same with T'Challa. Nelson, thank you. This is my point. You have options. If you could do it there, you could do it there. That's just literally one easy look. Hey, Watcher, drop T'Challa in here. Done. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Now, I want you to remember one other thing that he had said. And this is the problematic thing that I want to untangle with people. Nate Moore talked about how the T'Challa and Chadwick's performance, they're so tied together. Okay, I played this for some of y'all. If y'all follow me, some of y'all already know. T'Challa and Black Panther and Chadwick are so tied together that it was impossible for them to separate. In other words, they could not see anyone else but Chadwick in that role. At some point, when we sit here and talk about honoring people, when we sit here and talk about respecting people, when do we consider what that person even thinks or feels? Because I am under the impression, the more I hear, and here's the thing, I'm not in their private conversations. All I'm going off of is what you say publicly. But based off of that conversation, when he said, we went down and talked to Ryan Coogler, I didn't hear not one word about we went and called up Chadwick's family to see how they would want us to proceed. Maybe they did, but nothing has indicated on record that's documented that the family has been consulted whatsoever. I would think if my loved one was passed away and their portrayal depiction was going to be in front of millions or whatever, I'd hope y'all come and talk to me first. I'd hope y'all want my input on whether or not I even want to see that, or maybe recommendations on how to handle it. He didn't say that in his conversation at all. And that's the other problem. I'm like, have y'all even thought about what would Chadwick think? And guess what? We have the receipts. We have the interviews, for some of y'all that don't know, of how Chadwick feels and other actors when people sit around and say, nobody else can be this role. No, that person is too perfect for the role. No one else. Let Chadwick tell you how he feels when people say stuff like that.
We're in a time right now where I love it and relish the fact that when I shot Black Panther, I'm shooting it with Michael B. Jordan. Right. And we can coexist. But there's this thing of, if you're making movies and you're doing well, people start to say, oh, he's the next Denzel, or he's that.
Right.
Making your success be based upon the idea that there can only be one of you. And we as actors, we talk about this. We talk about how debilitating that is, how negative it is, how, it's also frightening. You know what I'm saying, to a certain degree, because you feel like it divides and conquers. It makes us
pit you against each other.
Puts us against each other, yeah. Exactly. So I root for Idris Elba. I root for David and Michael, and I root for everybody, because I know if they do well, the truth is, it presents an opportunity for me.
This is what I'm talking about. When y'all want to sit here, not everybody, not y'all in here, but people out there, when people want to talk about nobody else can do this role, do you not understand what you're doing? He just told you it was frightening. It was debilitating. And it causes a divide amongst actors. Not because the actors are like, oh my gosh, this actor, Chadwick did so well, I'd never want to take that role. It's because of people out there that are like, nobody else can do what Chadwick did. So now that is causing the divide amongst actors because they don't want to sit here and ruffle those feathers. Not because they feel pressure in the role. Actors are literally, they got one job, play the role. That's their job. That you'll never see nobody sit here and talk about, I don't want to play James Bond. No, why would I do that? All those other actors did such a great job. I'm too intimidated by the pressure. No, you even had The Rock just to sit here and talk about, I want to play James Bond. I mean, he was joking, but still, actors usually will jump into these things and be like, yo, it's an honor to join this long line of other actors before me that played Macbeth, that played, James Bond, that played whatever. It's a privilege to step into that. That's how actors think. Actors don't think like fans. It's only some fans out there that are like, oh, nobody can do that. No, stop limiting people. That's not how that he was afraid of stuff like that. So when we sit here and talk about we want to honor Chadwick Boseman, we want to celebrate him, we don't want to disrespect him. When are you going to take his feelings into consideration? You heard what he just said. So for Nate Moore and those at Marvel that are so like, Chadwick was so tied to this role, are you going to consider what Chadwick thought? Just will it matter? One other thing, y'all know I got to play this one too. Y'all know Chadwick's thoughts. If we're going to talk about honoring and celebrating somebody, shouldn't their feelings and thoughts and beliefs matter? What did Chadwick think about the roles that he took?
It's always tough when we lose someone people greatly respected. But the value of the work really means that they live forever. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the things that when Chadwick Boseman and I were texting, this was April last year. He had been ill, but people were commenting on his weight loss. Mm-hmm. And he said to me, and I didn't reveal this until after he died, but he said in the text, I want them to see the role and not see me. Mm-hmm. He said, that is the job of an actor. Right. Where it's not about me. It's about the role. Right. And people remember the role and what you did with it. Mm-hmm.
That's Chadwick's thoughts on acting and the roles that he took. If the role is bigger than you, that means it should not die with you or end with you. Those were his thoughts, not my opinion, not fan opinion. That's his view. If he thought that the role was bigger than him, and let's not forget that this man got up every day battling cancer just to go to work to shoot us 4 extra episodes of What If. Why? Because in his work, he wanted the world to see more T'Challa. He wanted to show that T'Challa could stand side by side with Thor and Captain America, even without the mantle. He didn't have to be Black Panther to go save the galaxy. Once again, this is why y'all need to stop talking about, but somebody else will be Black Panther. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares who's going to be Black Panther because Black Panther, the mantle is secondary. T'Challa matters. T'Challa defines everything else in the Black Panther franchise. That's the way it was created. That's the way it flows. That's the way entertainment works. You ain't never walked into any type of franchise, movie, TV, book, nothing without a main character. There was always a main protagonist. Always. There's always what I call the character anchors to keep you locked in, so that even if you go on to some other characters, you know where home base is. T'Challa is home base. Let me grab these before they disappear. Mara Sharice, we went to the theater multiple times because we wanted to ensure T'Challa was given prominence in the MCU, not to kill the character off in one movie. Come on, praise, come on. Let's go. Thank you. The facts. I don't foresee it, based off of what I know for this movie, I don't foresee it getting the repeat value because they keep wanting to put themselves in a corner with all this nonsense. Thank you. John, what's going on? It feels like nothing is going right with this movie after Chadwick's death, and the solution is to make amends with him and his family. I wish they would reach out and talk to him. I wish we knew that. Like, we ain't heard nothing. The only thing we have is the commentary from his brother, Derek Bozeman. That's the only record. So if anybody out there says Marvel talked to the family, we don't have any evidence of that. I am totally open. If anybody can provide me evidence with it, if they can say, hey, they even let Kevin Feige even say, I talked to the family and blah, blah, whatever. At least it'd be documented. That ain't the case right now. Right now, per Nate Moore, it sounded like all the Marvel bosses was like, yo, Ryan Coogler, boom, boom, boom. Minutes later, we not going to recast. That's their words. Meant BP and Storm Love and the animated X-Men. I mean, maybe, but I'm animated. I don't care. I want that live action. I think the live action. What's going on, Brandon? Sorry, I missed you. I don't know what your comment is, but we're going to see if we can grab it. Brian, let's go. Bro, listen, he told you it was Ryan Coogler. He said it was a short conversation with Ryan. Yes, but they are both in charge. Both of them were given leeway, and that's per Kevin Feige, right? So per Kevin Feige, he deferred to Nate Moore and Ryan Coogler. So I'm not going to put it all on Ryan Coogler. I'm going to put the decision on the people that are in the positions of power. Because even if Ryan Coogler let's just say Ryan Coogler was the only one that wanted him to kill off T'Challa. If Nate Moore wanted to say, no, we're not going to do that, Ryan Coogler would be gone. And they would find somebody else. That wouldn't be the first time director and producers had creative differences. So the fact that they in on it together, I'm not putting it on just him. I'm putting it on both of them. That's their joint decision. And they're going to have to live with it. Let's see. Mark, what's going on? The Watcher took Black Widow. Yep. We got that one earlier. But you're right. It's very easy. They could do that. Thank you. Let's see. T-Mac, they recasted the Oracle from the Matrix 3 after the original actor died. They moved universes for Black Widow and What If, and they had many variants of Loki. This is what I'm saying. Like, y'all approve my point. They've laid the foundation to make this a very, very easy thing. Very easy. Multiverse means you can make up whatever you want. You don't have to kill T'Challa. John was saying, what can we do now and what happens in the future? All right, so let me make sure I got everything because I'm trying not to forget. I don't want to screw people over and skip their comments. Hold on one second. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do in the future coming up right now. I'm gonna grab these comments and trust me, I got this all laid out. I'm gonna get there. Mike, thank you. Honestly, Coogler didn't care much for the character of T'Challa. Why else would every other character outshine him, like Killmonger in his own films? It's hard to say. Honestly, I would say that I think that everybody planned to build T'Challa up slowly. Let's not forget, Chadwick Boseman was signed on not only for Black Panther 2, but also for the option of Black Panther 3, which means there was going to be a long-term plan for for T'Challa, same way with Tony Stark and, Captain America and everybody else. They were going to tell a long story. And the mere fact that this is probably not going to happen now, that story is getting cut short, which is probably the biggest insult in all of this. Like, tell the man's story. All right, Nicholas, what's going on? I'm literally writing a fan fiction character that I'm planning on pitching to Marvel with Kevin Feige and company, and it's centered around the story of T'Challa. Yo, good luck, because I think they need all the help they can get with writing some stories. Prince, what's going on? Why is Marvel acting like T'Challa isn't as important as Colonel James Rhodes? It's a good question. It's a good question. Good question. Just my opinion reviews, brother. Thank you so much for the super sticker, man. Y'all make sure y'all go follow my man right there. You can find his info on my channel list. I'm trying to go fast, so apologies to everybody. Chief, what's going on? I get what he meant about how much Chadwick brought, a la the chance, the dancing, and all that. I feel like he basically made moving forward easy, groundwork laid. Come on, Uatu head, Nate. Uatu head, Nate and Ryan. Yeah, I mean, bro, like, they're running out of excuses. They're running. This is why I started the petition. I started the petition because I wanted to get this seed in people's head that this could be a possibility. And if it was a possibility, I needed people to react, because Marvel also is reactionary. Hell, we just saw that they were reactionary to Chadwick's passing to make quick, rash decisions in minutes. So if enough people were to sign the petition, recast T'Challa on change.org, that's going, y'all, I'm telling you, Marvel changes stuff to the last minute. Forget all this nonsense when people be like, it's in production already. What more can they do? It's done. It's time to give up. Are you kidding me? They changed up the whole Hulk story in an Age of Ultron based off of a rumor. Based off of a rumor that there was going to be a Hulk solo movie somewhere. They changed up his whole story last minute. They took out Doctor Strange from WandaVision at the last minute just because. Production was wrapped. Production was done, and they took it out. So miss me with all this nonsense about, well, it's too late. No. They just delayed production for 5 months. They could literally make a whole new movie. I'm not saying they should, but I'm saying they could tweak some things. They could change some things right now if they really wanted to. But they're not going to move until they hear people. And that's why I'm going to keep this conversation going, because a lot of people, by the way, and let's be honest with this, a lot of people, and I see a lot of the comments online and stuff like that, vast majority of the people that are against recast T'Challa have not even read the petition, have not even watched my videos, have not even read my articles. They're only going off of the headline. They're going off of what some other random person said rather than the person that started the petition. They're not engaging with the actual conversation that has to be had. And that's the bigger problem. That's why I'm going to keep on going with all this, because the conversation needs to be had so people can understand how deeply rooted this really is. And it's layered. I'm telling y'all, it's a layered conversation. Let me play one last clip because we're getting close to the end here. Because I had a problem with this too.
But the challenge of the movie, I think, is to entertain people. But there will be a level of, I think, catharsis in people coming back to this universe without that guy, because that guy and that universe, to me, are one and the same. So as filmmakers and storytellers, you have to figure out how people are going to feel going into your movie and what you want that movie to say about that guy who's not going to be in your movie.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. I think I'm willing to bet they still going to kill T'Challa. I will place money on that right now. So we have that established. Nate Morris says that he feels like, there are two things going on, that you're going to have a sense of entertainment, and then there's going to be a feeling of catharsis, which means that it's going to be almost therapeutic to go watch this movie. I couldn't disagree more. And here's the thing. I don't need to see how they're going to do it. It does not matter how they're going to do it. If you say you're going to kill this character off, if that's what you're going to do, it doesn't matter how you kill him off. It doesn't matter if it's on screen. It doesn't matter if it's off screen. You are taking a real life situation, a real person's life, a real person's tragedy, other people's trauma and forcing it into a fictional story, and you say it's going to be cathartic and therapeutic, I say it's going to be triggering. This man passed in August of 2020. We've had time to mourn, to grieve. Some of us are still not over it. So now we have to go into July of 2022, grieving and mourning after this loved one, this cherished person that we all held up to a high regard, only to relive that again. Y'all don't think you think it's about to be a happy celebration or something? You don't think that they're gonna have they're going to replicate that mourning into the movie? They're not just gonna be like, hey y'all, T'Challa's dead. All right, party time. No. The actors are gonna get into it. They're gonna grieve. They're gonna mourn. You don't think that that's gonna reciprocate back on the audience? That little kid, that little boy, that little fan out there that had that the T'Challa was their favorite hero, that they had the toy and everything. When they heard Chadwick Boseman, the real life actor, passed away, and they were crying. You don't think that that's going to trigger that little kid again? Why are we doing this? Why are we putting people through this emotional stuff? Listen, if Nate Moore, Ryan Coogler, and them, if that's what you need to see for you to have a cathartic experience, fine. Make the movie private. Don't publicize it. Have a little private Marvel screening where y'all go reenact this man's death and y'all go do all this stuff in private. Have that time for yourself. But when you are bringing stuff to the public, and you're asking for our money, by the way, that crosses the line. It's already a line cross. I just showed y'all that Chadwick did not like the idea of confining actors to roles and saying nobody else, only this person. I just showed y'all he expressed his opinion that the roles he took were bigger than him. But you hear the opposite of that when Nate Moore talks about, nah, the characters are tied. How are you going to honor somebody when they don't even believe that? How? I really want somebody to help me make that make sense, because it ain't adding up to me. He says the character's bigger. You say, no, it's you. That's it. Like, did you talk to chat? Did you look at? I'm just a little black YouTuber, film critic, and I sat here and watched almost, I don't know, 20, 30 something hours of Chadwick Boseman footage, and I found these things. Y'all work with him. Y'all got interns. Y'all got money. Y'all got phone numbers to his family, I'm sure. Y'all didn't take the time to look this up first. Y'all didn't take the time and diligence to think, what would Chadwick really want? Because don't be fooled. Some of the stuff that they talk about, and I played this in previous episodes, some of the stuff they talk about, like, yeah, Chadwick will be proud. Yes, that's true. Chadwick would be proud that the franchise is still going. He did want that. He never expressed anything about being content remotely with the end of T'Challa. Never. My man Mike, how you not put any thought into $1 billion decision like that? Where did they do that at? So he was just so good, and he was just, it's no need. Bro, I don't get it. I don't know why they don't want They could have delayed Black Panther 2 for a year. I don't think anybody would have said anything. Y'all postponed Black Widow because of the pandemic for like a year and a half or whatever. And we still went and watched it. It was all right. But still, we were understanding. We was like, oh, yeah, pandemic. We get it. You don't think that we would be like, oh, y'all going to delay Black Panther for man, all right, we get it. If we can be understanding for Black Widow, you don't think we're going to be understanding for Black Panther 2? Friggins belt. Hey, E. I still say stay the course. Another YouTuber talked about how T'Challa could reappear in the multiverse. They not trying to lose that money. I hope not. I'm already losing my voice though. Daniel, people can't say they didn't expect the impact and success of the film. Had $200 million budget. Yeah, facts. This is true. Thank you for that, Chief. Also, I know reboots are different situations, but they got to realize that the MCU ain't rebooting no time soon. So waiting for that is not a good idea. I've tried to tell people that Marvel, even in the comics, doesn't reboot. I don't know why people keep thinking that what the MCU. Let me tell you something. What the MCU is right now is unprecedented. We ain't never seen nothing this big, this crazy, with all these movies, all this interconnectivity. You ain't never seen nothing like that. I don't care how many Rocky movies there are or whatever, trilogies and what. You ain't never seen nothing like the MCU. The MCU does not reboot. It's not going to reboot. It has no reason to reboot. If it reboots, we all gonna die. Like, seriously, like it'll be, they have that much content. That's what I'm trying to say. They got so much content, they don't ever have to reboot. They're not going to be like, all right, let's start all over in 10 years and do Avengers all over again. That's not the plan. If it was, that'd be stupid. But yeah, I'm just trying to tell y'all that's not going to happen. Let's see. Doucette, let's go. BP2, do you think it would make as much as the first one? Hell no. Hell no. Because the reason why the first one made so much money was because of repeat views. Listen, it's struggling for me to even want to go see this. I'm going to go see it just because I need to go see it, mainly because of my profession. However, I don't see people going back, having the same feeling, going and seeing it multiple times. I don't personally see that. I don't. Especially if they go in with the tone of killing off T'Challa and stuff like that. Like, why would you want to go see that multiple times? I don't know. Let's see. Didier, what's going on? What worries me is that this is going to be the first trash Marvel movie, and we'll never see a black superhero movie again. Hey, man, Captain Marvel was a thing. Thor 2 was a thing. It ain't gonna be the first trash. They've made some trash. I'm just saying they've made some bad movies. But I hear you in terms of, I think that they're gonna it's gonna be a letdown for expectations. There's huge expectations already when it comes to when it comes to this property, for sure. And I don't think that this is gonna live up to it. So let's see, Levon, let's go. I think Disney thinks the movie black fans are cultish with honoring Chadwick Boseman. I think true black comic book fans want T'Challa recast. I would say more, I've seen at least more comic fans definitely want T'Challa recast. I've seen what you're talking about in terms of like the fandom towards Chadwick, but I also think that they are unaware of like how Chadwick felt. I don't think that they realize that when they sit here and confine Chadwick to just one role, that same thing I just showed y'all, he was very afraid of, he said was debilitating. They don't realize how selfish that is. And it's not their fault. They just don't know. But it's very selfish to sit here and be like, nobody else but him, especially when the actor's like, yo, please don't think that way. Because now you're cutting off opportunities for other black actors. I mean, yeah. So anyway, thank you. Let's see. Folami. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I don't know what makes them think fans will respond positively to them killing T'Challa, particularly considering the shock and sadness of Chadwick's real death. Nobody wants to merge those emotions. This is the thing that is so perplexing to me, because as I've said, and I've said this a couple times, and it might be controversial, it might ruffle some feathers, but I also say this as a strong word of caution to Marvel. If you go killing T'Challa, and if you even hint at it in a trailer or an advertisement, whether you mean to or not, whether you want to or not, you will be profiting off of his death. And it's an ugly situation. It's a discomforting situation. It is disturbing, because I don't think that's what they want to do. But I'm saying at the end of the day, that is going to be what it is. Because I've seen people online sit here and talk about, not only do I want to go see Black Panther, I want to see how they're going to handle the non-recasting. What do you think that means? They want to see what you're going to do with this man's life. They're going to pay money to go see how you handle his life. So when I say y'all are going to profit off of his death, that's what I'm talking about. people are interested in that because you've already laid the groundwork that that's a possibility. It's disturbing. Zoe, Heath Ledger was my favorite Joker, but if that was the last Joker, then we would have never gotten the $1 billion Joker solo movie. And this is facts. This is why fans usually get things wrong. Fans usually don't know how to cast people right. Fans usually are outraged when they were outraged when Heath Ledger was announced to be the Joker. They were outraged when Joaquin Phoenix was supposed to be the Joker. They were outraged when Gal Gadot was announced to be Wonder Woman. Like, fans get stuff wrong all the time because fans are not in the proper mindset for these things. Fans are not in the industry. They just come in to consume the entertainment. They don't have the eye. They don't have most fans don't have the visual perception of this actor can do this or that actor would be great for that. They don't. How many times have fans got it wrong with different characters over time? Let me grab this real quick. He who runs phase, Namor sounds like the real life villain personified, looking to snuff out his MCU nemesis. I like that. That's some good wordplay, bro. Hey, bro, we missed you, man. I ain't seen you in a couple lives, man. Good to see you back. Howard, let's see. I'm on another level. Even if his family and Chad himself said kill T'Challa if I die, I would recast him in a minute. I'm not gonna lie, I would too, but I would try to find a way to compromise both because I don't want to disrespect, the ancestors. You know what I'm saying? But I feel you on that. I really do. Let's go. Dorian, the only exception I think of is Leia. Maybe the backlash to CGI Leia led to the Disney decision, but everyone else is recast though. You know what? I would say the thing with Leia is her family was still here. They were on set. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were around. So you could get that consultation. I have not seen that with Marvel. They have not said any of that here. So it's hard for me to, to run with that. Let me grab Lamar. Let's go. They won't recast because he isn't the right black character that they want us to have enter the Falcon and other American superheroes. I'll say that it's a missed opportunity for sure. It is absolutely a missed opportunity. Billy, thank you so much. Marvel's current position of not recasting T'Challa. Chadwick's legacy will not be of the first Black Panther, but sadly the last Black Panther. And it's sad because I don't even want to feed into that too much because it confuses people in terms of I would much rather talk about him being a lead character, a lead black role, because those don't come around very often, right? Like, yeah, we're getting it now with Falcon and maybe Shuri. I think they retooled it, maybe, and Blade. But again, this goes back to what I was talking about with the Hollywood discriminatory math. Y'all don't have, you can have multiple leads. It's okay to keep T'Challa on the board. Why do we have to get rid of that chess piece? Like, that was our first one. That was our first one in the MCU. Why are you trying to get rid of that? That's why I look at stuff like, perfect counterexample, The Harder They Fall. Look at The Harder They Fall and how they had all them lead characters. That's exactly what Chadwick was dreaming of. If I played you that black and white interview, I don't have the full one on me right now. But if you watch the rest of that interview, he literally talks about how that's what he hopes to see. He wants to see Denzel, Lawrence Fishburne, and Morgan Freeman, and Eddie Murphy, and all these actors all on the same screen. All these leading black characters all on the same movie. He would have loved The Harder They Fall. He probably would have been in it too. But we got to play this discrimination crap, and people are just going along with it. Just give it to another black actor. Just give it to another character. Do you not realize that when you play hot potato with the mantle of Black Panther, no one cares then? No one cares about mantles that aren't defined by the characters. It doesn't matter if it's a family thing. It doesn't matter if the mantle gets passed on. The way entertainment works, whether it's books, movies, TV, whatever. You need that character anchor to make you care about the mantle. The second the mantle starts going, what you gonna do? Be like Oprah? You get the mantle. You get the mantle. Everybody gets the mantle. No one's going to care. Because the second one character jacks up or nobody cares about him, flip it on over to someone else, it's going to be expendable. That's my point. That's why I'm like, yo, you need to make sure T'Challa is there because he defines the significance not only of the mantle, but of Wakanda. And then he elevates and supports all the other characters as well. That's the dope thing I don't think people realize in terms of the significance of T'Challa. T'Challa is such a dope main character that not only will he be a lead, but he knows when to be a supporting character, like when Shuri is taking her time to be the queen. He knows when to step up and when to fall back. Come on, man. Come on. What are we talking about? Frigga, I like to think that Marvel is trying to map out a multiverse plan for T'Challa. I can't imagine they forget about the $1 billion they made from BP. I think that they are playing with house money right now. I think they're playing with the house money and they're taking it for granted. I think they took the first Black Panther for granted. I give them credit and props for putting their money where their mouth was because Black Panther had like $100 million budget. And the second one is almost like double that. So that's great. But at the same time, it's like trying to go win a championship and we just going to sit our franchise player. Why? Why are you benching the franchise player? You're not even benching him. You literally kicked him off the team. He's not even on the team. He ain't even in the building. Like, this game plan, it's very, very worrisome. Let me grab these. I'm gonna hurry up. Quote. Oh, there you go. I know I'm reaching, but he intentionally said 616. Maybe we're about to switch to another one in the main universe. All this multiverse madness. It's possible. Here's my thing. Give me a variant if you really have to, because I know that'll appease everybody. Don't kill T'Challa. That's fine. You don't want him in the 616? Fine. Don't kill him. Don't kill him. You had Loki change up all the history. Hey, have our Chadwick, have our T'Challa be preserved in that other history, and Kang just changed it. He will live in our hearts and our memories that way, and he won't die. You don't have to kill him. You do not. Thank you, quote. Let's see. Donnell, if they kill T'Challa, Marvel won't see my money again. Brother, I understand. Trust me, I do. Jen, hey, how are you? Seems like the MCU is erasing T'Challa from all of the MCU. Makes no sense. Ma'am, no, it does not. I don't get it either. Just my opinion. Reviews. Are we boycotting, bro? Let me know. I told you it is a hard thing to boycott. I do not begrudge anybody if they want to boycott. I'm not in the position of that because I have other things cooking. I got other things I need to do. And I'm not at that point. I use boycott as the big joker card. That's the final straw. That's the, you played all your options. I still have some things, and I'm gonna get to those. I still got some things up my sleeve. I still got some things cooking. So I'm not boycotting yet. I'm not mad at nobody that does it because that's your right. But I'm not going on that yet because I got some other tools and some other things coming up. Let me grab these. We're coming back. Let's see. I know I'm reaching. Oh, yeah, we got that one. Okay, thanks, Cole. Appreciate you. Let's see. Last minute changes is really how movies are made. This is very true. Good point. That is very true. And Marvel does it all the time. It is not new for them to change things at the last minute. Storm Shadow, it's amazing to me. In order to honor him, they have to dishonor him. I mean, it would kind of help if you actually consider what the man thought and believed. Like I said, I'm nobody, and I just sat here and looked up his interviews and stuff, and I found at least 2-3 different videos and interviews that I would argue suggest that he's not okay with recasting. I don't know why Marvel did not even consider to do that, but then again, when you make decisions in minutes, I guess that happens. Let's see. MJ, what's going on? Damson Idris is a new T'Challa, Black Panther, fine by me. I really don't care who it is. Just give us T'Challa. Let that story continue. House of Boom. Do you think the 616 comment is telling of an alternate version in the future? Yes, I do. So that to me is kind of a win. It's kind of a win that we are going to get a different version of T'Challa. That's him kind of saying without saying, because Marvel is trained to talk that way. But at the same time, my bigger issue is stop killing this guy. Stop killing. He doesn't have to die for a third time. Stop doubling down on the real life tragedy. Stop going through that emotional trauma and putting us all, the public, through it and making us have to pay for it to see it. Don't like it. I think that is jacked up. Eric, what's going on? I think Marvel will recast T'Challa if we boycott the next Black Panther film. If not the most, they do is bring back Killmonger. So they're gonna bring Killmonger back, I'm sure, but not in the capacity that I think a lot of people want. The problem with the boycott right now, it's too early. The reason why it's too early is because people still don't believe, nor do they see the complexity or the problems that I've talked about earlier today. Boycotts are only successful when you get the masses on your side. We're not going to have those numbers at this point. I could tell you that right now. The mere fact that the Black community is divided, the mere fact that people still, the comic conscious fans versus non-comic fans are divided, you're not going to get the numbers enough to really make the impact that a boycott should have, that you want a boycott to have. So this is why I say I'm not going to begrudge anybody that wants to boycott the movie, but it's not going to have the effect that you think it will, because right now we don't have the numbers of support to back that up. Let me tell you, let's just say if we had on the petition 1 million people, 1 million signatures, that's gonna talk numbers. That's gonna scare Marvel right there. We had 37,000 right now, which is cool. It makes a statement, but we don't have the numbers to do the boycott. So that's why I'm saying we got to hold back until more people feel something. I really feel something. What about the kids? Recast the child. I know that, to be honest, that's one of my biggest issues. Like, I am very, very concerned about how young kids are going to get this cathartic experience by watching their hero die again. Like, it doesn't even matter if you just put it in words. It doesn't matter if you put it in the little animation and you don't show us the death, but you just show us that he died. Like, we still have to watch the other actors mourn him. We still have to watch everybody else be sad and go through that process. You don't think that we're going to be empathetic with that? You don't think that we would reflect their sadness with our own? That's what happens in movies. That's not cathartic. You know what is cathartic? What is therapeutic? I mourned this guy's death on my own. I mean, I was on camera with y'all when he died. The day Chadwick passed, I was on camera with y'all, bawling, being all snotty nose and everything. I didn't expect that, but that was my way to grieve, and I'm sure other people grieved in their own way. But I do not like the fact that, like, we're gonna have to go pay to go see this movie, to go through that grieving process. Why don't you let us grieve on our own way, in our own fashion, and leave the fictional fantasy storytelling to maybe be an escape from all that, and still celebrate and honor the real life person of Chadwick Boseman. Y'all got a mural that you made for him. Beautiful thing. You made a nice video tribute. Awesome. We saw in other in the comic books, they have the helicarriers called the Chadwick Boseman. And what? Great. We saw in The Harder They Fall, they named the train after him. Wow, beautiful. Netflix gave out scholarships in Chadwick Boseman's name for other acting students at his alma mater. Wonderful honor. Marvel Studios, you could, where the money at? Where's the money at? Why didn't y'all do a scholarship for him too? I'm just saying, you have options to celebrate and honor this man without killing the art that he made. I ain't never hear nobody ever take an artist's work, because, by the way, Chadwick considered himself an artist, not an actor. Okay, and that's in interviews too. I ain't never heard of somebody saying, yo, this artist died We got to destroy their art. Well, let's go burn the Mona Lisa. Let's go break up the David. Right? Shouldn't we? All them Van Gogh paintings, take them out. Picasso, light it up. We're going to honor them, right? That makes sense, right? Christopher Reeves passed. Well, let's go kill off his character. The Don, my man, what's going on? Cuz the last scene in Black Panther where the kid asks, who are you? And T'Challa just smiles into the credits theme. All the stars was so meaningful. It showed how impactful that role was. Yeah, I love that scene. I love that scene. I really do. I wish I could have seen that as a younger kid. I would have yeah, beautiful scene. Thank you, Don. Thank you. Just perfect scene. Grab these. I see. Let's go. If Marvel kills T'Challa, they're doing exactly what Nate Moore said they wouldn't do: exploit Chadwick's death. They should donate all proceeds to charity. I told y'all about that. I said if y'all kill him, and especially if you market it, it is an exploitation. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that we don't want to exploit Chadwick's death, but then at the same time sit here and say Chadwick is T'Challa. Oh, and we killed T'Challa. How does that make sense? I don't want to exploit Chadwick, but Chadwick is T'Challa. We kill off T'Challa. I'm not exploiting Chadwick's death. It's a contradiction. I might have to tweet that because I think people need to see that. Storm Shadow, let's go. Do you think Nate said what he said to spark conversation in order to gather feedback on how the larger community feels about recasting T'Challa? No. I think that if they wanted to do that, they could Marvel can do internal polling. And I think that's actually why they feel comfortable right now, because a vast majority of people don't realize what is problematic with recasting T'Challa or not. A vast majority of people only react to the headline. So imagine if you get a survey in the mail and it says, hey, do you think Marvel Studios should recast the character of T'Challa played by Chadwick Boseman? No context, nothing. A lot of people be like, well, Marvel said no, so no. And that's the thought process a lot of people have. A lot of people are like, if Marvel said it, it's got to be this, as if Marvel is infallible, like they're above reproach. Now, when you guys are here and you're listening to all these different points, all these different examples, all these different counters, now you're in a position where you can critically think about it. Even if you disagree with me, that's fine. At least you're more informed, but you can have a more informed opinion versus people that are just like, recast T'Challa, replace Chadwick. Hell no. And that's how a lot of people are acting whenever these things are spread online or there are headlines or articles written. They're not reading it. They're looking and reacting, and that's it. So no, I don't think that Nate did this to get some internal feedback, because they could get that on their own. I think he answered the best way he could. And again, this is one of those reasons why I was talking about, like, I watch all their stuff and I know how they're trained to talk. When you look at him talking and responding in this video, he stops, pauses, and he's very careful with how he says it. He even said it. He's like, yo, like, you won't see T'Challa in the 616. You see what I'm saying? Like, when you stop and pause like that, Kevin Feige does the same thing. Marvel trains their producers, they train their actors, they train their directors to do that so that they can avoid spoilers and other, issues. He knew exactly what he was saying, but he was doing, I don't think he had it with that intention. I don't think so. I think he was, because keep in mind, that interview, by the way, that was not for Black Panther. He was there for Eternals. So they kind of caught him off guard with that question, but he still had to answer it because he's on the spot. So, he definitely was not doing it, in my opinion, with that intention. Mason, what's going on? I agree with you 100%. Recast T'Challa. Thank you, Mason. I appreciate you, sir. Let me go. Frank, all right. E-Man, what's good, brother? At work, listen to you, and I'm behind you 100%. Thank you so much. Need the petition link so I can sign it too, and get more people involved. Is there a way you can send me the link? All right, the link for this petition. Let me okay, because we're right where we need to be. The link to the petition is change.org, change.org/recast T'Challa. Okay, change.org/recast T'Challa. Here it goes, right here. Boom. Change.org/recast T'Challa. Let's see what them numbers looking like. I ain't refreshed this. Sorry. Change.org/recast T'Challa. Now that we're towards like the end of this, I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit more of a briefing of the positive news, like what's going down. Okay, I can't say too much, but y'all know I try to tell y'all as much as I can. I can't say too much, but what I will say is this: we need this to get to 40,000. I've put my own money into this, by the way, like full transparency. I put my own money into this where the money doesn't go to me. So if you donate to the petition, it doesn't go to me or anything like that. What the money does is it actually pushes and boosts the petition in front of more people. So I've put my own money into this. Other people have put their money into it. And by the way, shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much for that. But I can't tell you why yet, but we need this to get to 40,000. Okay. As you can see, we real close. We at 37,134. We can make that. That's easy. There are big names with blue check marks that are starting to join in. Y'all gonna start seeing me, hopefully, God willing, talking more about this because this ain't going away. This is a long-term project. It's a long-term campaign. I told y'all that too. We need this to get to 40,000. Please share it. Please send it to your friends, family, whoever. Encourage them to read it because reading helps. You know, if you got to tell them anything, I made it super simple. It's not asking for an immediate recast. It's not dealing with anything with the mantle of Black Panther. And the main thing, we just don't want the character killed off. It's that simple. But we need this at 40,000. I got big things working. I got things cooking. And y'all know what that meant last time. Last time we went viral with this. Because of y'all support, this can get bigger. For real. I want to tell y'all more. I really do. I really do. But I can't right now because stuff. All right. Let me get my man Tony here. Let's go. They're going to throw a few of us some butter biscuits to sell out the rest. E-Man, don't throw away your dream of money. You proved yourself 100%. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Rob Mack, T'Challa is top 5 intellectuals in the Marvel comics. We haven't seen it yet. This is also facts. They could definitely do better with that. Okay, so here's one other thing I would need y'all help with. How do I say this? If I were to have a panel discussion about Recast T'Challa, who do you think would be good to put on that panel? Reach for the stars. Doesn't matter how big, you know, I'm like, yo, Oprah, what up? You know, like, who do you think would make for a good panel discussion if I could get them? And what I'm looking for is maybe not even someone who fully agrees with me. It might be somebody who doesn't. It could be somebody else who has status, who could bring a very fruitful a fruitful conversation. Let me know who y'all think would be good for that. Like I said, they don't have to agree with Recast T'Challa. They could be, they could be somebody that don't agree at all. Matter of fact, that might even be better, because if we can get somebody to talk about all the apprehensions some people have, I can diffuse some of that stuff. And I would say nobody in Marvel, because Marvel's not going to get involved in that conversation. Like, they already were ducking me when I reached out to them. Obviously, if I can get Nate Moore and have that one-on-one conversation, that's it. I don't even need to talk to Kevin Feige. Nate Moore, this your baby. We could talk. So let me know of some people who you think would be beneficial in a conversation about recasting T'Challa. And I want to say also thank you to many of you, especially on Twitter, who have reached out to other platforms. I've seen some of y'all reach out to bigger YouTube channels, to radio hosts, to different websites, asking for them to have me on there. Let me tell you, it's working. It's working. I told y'all before, there's a big difference when y'all ask these platforms to have me on versus if I go ask them. So I want to say thank you so much to a lot of y'all. We're going to see if some of these things pan out, but I will say we got some stuff cooking, y'all. We got some stuff cooking. All right. Let me grab this one real quick. My man Mason, what's going on? I made a video of me with the Recast T'Challa shirt. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And by the way, y'all get these shirts. Money goes straight to Colon Cancer Coalition. I donate all proceeds. If you buy a Recast T'Challa shirt, money goes straight to the Colon Cancer Research Coalition. I'm sorry. And I do that in Chadwick Boseman's name, in honor of him. But yes, go ahead, check this out. change.org/recast T'Challa. That is going to be where you can go sign this petition. You can save, you can share it, you can donate to it. Like I said, it helps push the petitions to more eyeballs, all of that. Let's see, Tony, what's going on? Okay, these are some good names. Cool. Thank you so much, Tony. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. That's it. I'm sorry I went over. I did not mean to go this long, but y'all know I get passionate about this, so I'm sorry. But I appreciate y'all so much. Be on the lookout. I'm gonna be working. Like, y'all don't realize I got so much heat. I got heat for days. We gonna work. We gonna make this work. So until next time, y'all, we still got Friday. Don't worry, Friday on the live. I'm glad I got this out the way now. Maybe the Friday live would actually be shorter this time. But y'all stay tuned. Thank y'all so much for y'all support. I seriously bless y'all for real. I cannot tell y'all how much I appreciate y'all just listening to me ramble on, but y'all know this means a whole lot to me for so many reasons. But yeah, please feel free to keep on dropping your comments. Let me know what you think. And please stay tuned. Y'all, this is just the beginning. When I tell you we gonna make some change. Okay, for real. All right, thank y'all so much. Y'all have a good night. I appreciate y'all. I will see you guys on Friday. All right, don't miss it. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.